As the old saying goes, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. This old Chinese phrase captures the very spirit of this year's Businessman of the Year, self-made billionaire Mr. Yao Hsiao Tung. Born in China in 1940, his parents uprooted to Taiwan when he was just 6 years old. But it was the tough experiences of these early years growing up during World War II that molded the young Mr. Yao into the successful businessman that he is today. And his business story takes us back to 1979 when Mr. Yao moved to Singapore while working for multinational chemical company DuPont. While stationed in Singapore in 1983, he left DuPont after investing a princely sum of $50,000 of his own savings in a young mold manufacturing company, High P Tool and Die, which at that time was struggling to make a profit during the recession of the time.
The economic recession that hit Singapore around 1984 to 1987. It was a major crisis, but we never gave up. It took a lot of perseverance. As a team, we managed to overcome.
In 1987, Mr. Yao formed a joint venture with Molex to supply the US multinational with electric connectors.
They invested $140,000 for a 35% stake. The inflow of funds has helped the High P ride through the difficult times.
This was to be the start of a meteoric rise for the company, which under Mr. Yao's leadership has not looked back since. In an effort to spearhead further growth, in 2017, Mr. Yao bought back the stake that was owned by longtime partner Molex. And by April 2021, after a voluntary unconditional offer for the balance shares of High P International not already owned by him, Mr. Yao completed the privatization of High P, and it was delisted from the Singapore Exchange. Taking the company private gave Mr. Yao more flexibility to manage the business and take full control of one of Singapore's largest contract manufacturing companies at the time. Today, the company is a vertically integrated turnkey contract manufacturer, serving some of the world's biggest names in the telecommunications, consumer electronics, data storage, and medical industries. In 2022, High P achieved a 20% year-on-year increase in turnover to $2.2 billion, despite a challenging time for its operations in Shanghai amid COVID-related curbs. Earnings rose by 40% to $135 million. On a more personal side, Mr. Yao believes in giving back to the society that gave him his opportunities. And he does this through High P's CSR initiatives for the communities and markets that it operates in.
Over the last 20 years working together with Mr. Yao, I have witnessed how his strong leadership, his relentless dedication, and his remarkable fighting spirit helped him to overcome many challenges and transform and expanded our business to greater heights to where we are today. Beyond his leadership qualities and business skills, he is also a compassionate and supportive individual who truly values his employees. He has established a corporate culture where everyone has the opportunity to contribute, to realize full potential, and to progress with the company.
I've known Hsiao Tung for over 20 years. I remember first meeting him in Guadalajara, in Mexico. Hsiao Tung is a very intelligent man. He's got a remarkable mathematical mind. I mean, can you imagine the tolerances that's required to make the plastic for a razor blade? I mean, the slightest error and you're going to cause a lot of scratches on a man's face. But this he was able to do by understanding of material properties and by the use of control techniques which were very mathematical. He has a great understanding of human beings, a very generous man, very shrewd, and has a relationship with his wife, which is a remarkable partnership, you know. I mean, they're always together, and she compliments him, and they work together as a really fine team.
So I've known Mr. Yao Hsiao Tung of Hype since year 2000, and Mr. Yao is honestly a true force of nature. He's someone who embodies what the Chinese say, 自强不息, which is you never give up, you keep going. Even when you're doing well, you just keep going, you keep soldiering on. Mr. Yao is the embodiment of that. I know many of his clients who tell me, okay, if Mr. Yao's in charge, we know it's going to get done. He's known to be a problem solver with any technical problem, financial problem, planning problem. If he doesn't know it, he will learn it and he will do it. So he delivers time and time again. He's consistent and persistent. He works very hard and he so deserves this award.
Looking forward, Mr. Yao has placed succession planning as a top priority for Hype to ensure successful continuity of the company for a time when he no longer will be in the front line. He has no specific timeline. So for now, 83-year-old Mr. Yao Hsiao Tung continues to firmly lead the business to even greater heights.